You're listening to the Chain Clankers podcast with your hosts, Quentin Ferris and Horatio Gonzalez. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chain Clankers. Welcome in everyone to the Chain Clankers podcast. I'm your host, Quentin Ferris, joined here as always with Horatio Gonzalez. We got another fantastic episode for you guys today. Super excited for today's episode. It's going to be something a little bit different than what we're used to doing. Today, we're going to be talking about our pet peeves during disc golf. We've all got them. We're going to share ours today. We're going to share some of the ones that we received on Instagram as well today. Super excited for that. If you want to learn what makes us tick during disc golf, maybe what makes you tick as well, and maybe we can all stop doing these things, we can make disc golf a better place. Stay tuned through the end of the episode. We've got a very exciting announcement at the end of the show. You're not going to want to miss out on that, so definitely stay tuned through the end. Let's go and bring in Horatio. Horatio, how are we doing today, man?
I'm doing great, Quentin. I'm pretty excited. I know I got a lot of stuff on here that I'm ready to vent. And, some of this stuff, it's going to be fellow disc golfers, but quite a bit of it is going to be kind of to people who are not going to be listening, but maybe they're a relative or a friend or someone that you can tell to stop doing this.
Stop it.
They don't play it, but just stop.
Stop it. Just stop.
Live our lives. Leave it alone.
Oh, yeah. Great show lined up. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Chain Clankers. You can check out our Facebook group. I think it's literally just called like Chain Clankers Disc Golf. If you go over to Instagram and click our link in the bio, our link tree, there's an invite link to go right to our Facebook group. So definitely join that if you haven't already. Definitely want to grow that more and be a little bit more active over there. Just want to keep getting more people over there. So definitely do that. If you haven't already, you can watch this on YouTube, youtube.com/Chain Clankers. Check it out. We got some great videos over there. If you haven't already watched my mystery box opening for Discraft, I got a mystery misprint box. I unboxed it. It was a really fun video. If you haven't checked it out already, go check it out. That's nearing 1,000 views. So who knows? Maybe you'll be the 1,000th person to view it. I'm not sure if that's the correct grammar, but definitely go check that out. Let's talk pet peeves. These are things that tick us off during disc golf. I'll kick things off, or I guess I'll drive first here in this one. The first one that I have is people being impatient behind me, right? So this is going to be I'm going to have to do some connecting of the dots for this one. So really what it is like if I'm playing a hole and then I put my putter in the chains and like I'm walking away and I'm like 10 feet, like 5-10 feet away, and I hear their drive coming or something like that. That just annoys the absolute crap out of me. Like literally let me walk away from the basket. Like you throwing it right then and there does absolutely nothing for me except make me want to go slower. So you have to be stuck behind me. Like there's no reason to do that. There's absolutely zero benefit to doing that. Literally just take another extra couple seconds, look at your phone, I don't know, look at nature, appreciate that you're outside and alive. I don't know, literally anything other than throwing right behind me makes me so mad. And I understand that we talked about in, I want to say, not our intro, but maybe it was our second podcast, I want to say. We talked about like letting people through and stuff like that. And by all means, I completely agree. Like if you're playing slow, like if you're actually really trying to practice and focus, and if you know you're moving slow, yeah, let somebody through. But like, I know when I'm moving slow and I know when I'm not moving slow, and when I'm not moving slow and you're trying to rush me, that makes me so frustrated that I want to move slower. Don't get me wrong. Most of the time I'll throw 2 off the tee or something like that just so I can get a little bit more practice with my discs. But in no world does that really slow me down that much. Just because you're speed racer out here doesn't mean you have to try to make me go faster, because it only does the opposite. It makes me want to go slower. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, Horatio, or maybe it's happened to you guys there at home listening to the show. If it has, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Let me know, because it's something.
Yeah, definitely. So there's our course that I go to pretty much every other day when I play. And especially right now, it's really bad, like from that 3 p.m. to 5:30 when everyone has gotten off work and they need to go play, get their fix of disc golf in real quick. It's packed. And so the other day, multiple times we've been playing, and there's a hole that's kind of blind or whatever, but we'll be not even putting, and we'll have discs flying at us. So I've definitely seen it. And then so what I've done is I'll go to putt, and I'll hit the chain super loud, and then I'll be like, and then I'll scream at them, "I'm done," and let them know, like, "Hey,
Yeah, I
that's
mean, I've even seen
like,
that myself. Like, I think I've done that a couple times, or maybe I'll like really rattle the chains. That way, they know that hey, I'm not there anymore, and they're good to go. But it's the like, literally, I just pulled my putter out, and you're already driving. That just it drives me so crazy. I hate it so
yeah,
much. It really puts me into that mindset of like, I'm going to stare you down and make sure you know you're being an idiot right now,
yeah."
kind of mood. What do you got, Horatio? What's your first kind of pet peeve out there at the
So
course?
this one kind of falls in or similar to the one that you spoke on, but it's people that don't let you through and play slow. So maybe you're that person. I don't know.
I
I'm
don't think
kind
I
of trying to
am. I
figure
really
out. I
don't.
don't.
Maybe I am. Maybe I
Yes.
just play slow. I'm sorry.
But we played a trilogy challenge up in Emporia, I believe,
Yeah.
and it was a family. Usually, we'll get into this later on in the episode, but when there's a family, they're probably going slow. But it
But
was,
also love seeing families out there.
yeah,
No
yeah,
tea, no shade to the
it's
families.
beautiful. It's beautiful. But get those kids going. Gotta go.
Some SOU.
But we were playing. It was only me and you throwing. No, there
It
was
was me,
we
you, and your wife.
and there was two other guys. She was just with us, but we had those
Oh,
two
the
guys
second
with
time
us.
through?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and there was a group in front of us who was playing definitely slower than us. They would get to the box and they would not even be throwing yet, and we would be right behind them, just waiting. They weren't even ready to throw, and it was kind of casual trilogy challenge kind of tournament, so it was fine. But we would a couple of holes walk up to the tee pad at the same time they would, and they would look at us. We would look at them. We would make eye contact. Super awkward. They knew, we knew they should let us through, and
Yep.
they would not let us through. And for the rest of that round, we were just behind them waiting. And there was a couple of times where I wanted to say something and kind of, be like, "Hey, you mind if we go through?" But they were with their kids and stuff, and we weren't in a huge rush, but that was super annoying. And I've experienced that in other courses where people are in front of you and they won't really let you go through. Now I'm a little more comfortable just asking if I know I'm going to be going quicker. I'm like, "Hey, do you mind if I go through?" And usually people are like, "Yeah, go for it," or whatever. So I think that's annoying.
Yeah, I'm not that person. Well, okay, I'm not the person you're mad at because I never am really in a position where they're coming up behind me as I'm still at the tee box.
Mm,
If that happens 9 times out of 10, unless they've really been making me mad and they've been on my heels the entire time, I will let them through and I'll be like, hey, you guys can play through. Like, it's literally no big deal or something like that. Where, yeah, I definitely find that annoying. That was such a long round for us,
yeah.
even longer for me because literally nothing would go right for me and I kept throwing out of bounds every single time. But yeah, that's definitely super annoying. It's one of those things where I think that you kind of are on the right track where, asking to play through those kinds of things. So yeah, I kind of think that's maybe the solution to that one, but nonetheless, it's still annoying. And I don't know if you've experienced it, but I bet there's going to be someone who's like, no, you can't play through. I'm playing right now or something like that.
I haven't
Uh,
gotten it yet, but
I don't know. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe everyone's a lot more chill than I think. So my second really kind of big pet peeve is people who are smoking and playing music, especially during tournaments. If you're doing that during just a casual round, like you're at the course, I'm at the course, like we're separate, we're not playing together, that's fine. I don't care. You do you, I'll do me. But if we're playing in a tournament and you ask, can I play music? That is going to piss me off so much. Just because,
I
like,
like the voice you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know, you know. If you know, you know out there. If you know, you know. But it just makes me so mad because it's like, dude, I understand now. Thank you to someone. I forget the name. I'm so sorry. Someone on our YouTube channel actually commented below on that YouTube video. The podcast, if you didn't know, we do upload the podcast over to our YouTube channel, Chain Clankers. You can watch us do the podcast. And they commented and they said, hey, you can actually call someone for a courtesy violation on that. And if they continue to do it, they can actually get like a stroke penalty, 2 strokes penalty, something like that. So that was actually really clutch. Thank you to whoever did that. Hopefully you're watching this right now. Thank you. Shout out to you. So that's something that I'm going to do moving forward is if someone, first off, if someone asks to play music, I'm going to be like, no, that's not going to happen. But like it's the not asking to smoke a cigarette. It just makes me so mad. I have seen a lot of people in my life die from cigarettes. I hate cigarettes. The smell of cigarettes is disgusting to me. I really genuinely hate it so much. And so it's super annoying to me when you're just going to be out there smoking a cigarette without any sort of like, there's other people around who might not want that. So those things really do annoy me. During a casual round, like if you're over there and I'm over here, it's fine. But especially during a tournament, like I'm someone who is a big believer, like if you're participating in a disc golf tournament, you should take it as serious as you possibly can. It shouldn't just be some sort of rinky dink, like I'm going to come out here and I'm going to play the same 5 classic rock songs on repeat for 3 hours and I'm going to get it off my cigarettes and my nicotine. Like, take it seriously. Like, I paid good money to be out here. Like, I'm taking this seriously. You should take it seriously also. Like, don't try to turn this into a casual round because it's not a casual round. We can be honest. It's not a casual round. So that's just kind of something that makes me mad. I think literally this year we played in maybe like 7 tournaments or something like that. And I want to say like 3 of them, I had someone on my card playing music. And it was just so, because like, I don't want to be that guy that's like, nah, guy, like, sorry, you can't listen to music right now. But like, I'm going to from now on.
Imagine if you played music though. Like,
I'd be all about it.
No, but
Banger
I mean, like,
City.
would those guys tell you something though? Like, if you played
Probably.
your music that you like to listen to, would those guys tell you something? They probably would.
You know, those guys who only know the same 5 classic rock songs would be like, whoa, who's this Lil Uzi Vert? And what is this right now? They'd be like, whoa, Lil Skies, this is inappropriate. Who allowed this?
Whose baby?
Whose baby is that? How did they have a record deal? 21 Savage, what does that even mean? Future, that's a thing, not a rapper. Silly goose. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. It's something that I'm definitely like, I don't care. I'm to the point, kind of like you with like asking people to play through. Like, I know you're not going to play music if you're on the same card as me. Sorry. If you want to play music, there's this really cool thing called headphones. Put them in and listen to your music in there. Like, that's where I'm at. I'm coming out here to take this seriously. I'm paying money, so I'm not going to put up with that anymore. And I encourage those at home, if that's something that you don't like, if you don't like people doing that, then speak up as well. Speak up with me. And if you're someone who wants to do that, that's fine. If you want to listen to music, I don't have a problem with you wanting to listen to music. I'm just saying put some headphones in. Just don't force me to have to listen to your music. I don't hear the same. I already know the lyrics to those songs. I don't want to hear them 30 times in an afternoon. Golly.
Yeah. I think casual rounds. I know league night here. People will get up in groups, and someone usually always has league nights. It's more of like a vibe.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
You're playing disc golf, and usually the person will be like, "Hey, do you guys mind if I play music?" And then every other hole they'll be like, "Are you guys enjoying this? Do you want me to change it up?" And so we're all just chilling. Most people,
and like, that's not so bad because like, what, your league entry is $5 a night, maybe.
Yeah.
Instead of like $50.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It's just
No, that's definitely like not professional. Even if you're playing in rec or am, in a tournament, still, I think you want to get that respect.
Yeah, I agree. What do you got? What's your next pet peeve?
You know what really grinds my gears?
Ooh, what
really grinds my gears?
Is it me grinding my teeth? That happens.
I think this is one that a lot of people should worry about. If you don't, you should. This one was given to us by one of our Instagram followers and also my wife, who has personally, when we go out and play, she'll get like annoyed by it. But it's so much gosh darn garbage.
Get your
It
garbage
is
out of here.
trash. That one was given to us by Gordy Johnson on Instagram, and I agree, Gordy. So much trash for no reason. Tom, whoever you are, drinking all those Bud
All those
Lights.
Bud Lights. Drink a good beer. Golly, I'm
Um,
sorry.
how hard is it to crush your can and put it in your backpack, or just put it in the trash bin? There's every course. Not every course has a bathroom, which we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But every course I've played at has trash bins. You can put your beer can in the trash bin.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, sometimes it's not just trash or beer cans. We played one time at a course here, and I think someone put their like McDonald's meals bags on top of their cars or drove off or just
Mm-hmm.
left them or something. But there was just McDonald's bags like all over. Like I think it was like whole floor or something, and it just looked horrible. It was like so much trash, and my wife literally like went and grabbed like a bag out of our car and just started picking up the trash and put it in the trash bin where it's supposed to go. And other people noticed it because somebody was like, "Wow, thank you for doing that. Like that's really cool."
Mm-hmm.
But it was just embarrassing because like it's a park and you want to take care of it, and the city like takes care of the disc golf courses for us. Like we
Mm-hmm.
pay nothing for the to play at these courses, so the least we could do is pick up our trash.
Yeah.
And I see so many beer cans
Oh
all the
yeah, they're
time.
everywhere. They're everywhere. Um, I do want to give some other shout outs to those who swiped up on our story and Instagram who also said trash. Chris, I'm gonna mess up your last name. It's at Chris and then Calm. It's KOHM2. He said litter. That's a fun way of saying trash. You could also say Q is another way to say trash. Oh, sorry, I had to. Couldn't leave that one hanging there. And then someone else who said trash was at L underscore Dear Tay, not picking up your trash in all caps. So yeah, I agree. The trash is definitely a problem. I think maybe it would be cool, especially once I'm in Wichita. Maybe we could kind of come up with some sort of like pick up the trash day at the park or something like that, and kind of maybe lead a little community initiative in doing so. Because I do find that littering is something that genuinely does piss me off. Like, is it really that hard to throw something away? Um,
Yeah,
and if your course doesn't have a trash bag, that sucks. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to carry your trash for 20 extra minutes or however long it is. Like for example, my girlfriend and I, we went out to play a while ago, and she had a beer with her, and she crushed it, put it in my bag's extra water bottle pocket. So when I went in there like 3 weeks later and I found it, I had a nice laugh to myself because we were being eco-friendly. We were not throwing it away. And, most courses will have at least a couple of trash cans out
yeah,
there. And I know we talked a little bit about Centennial and Lawrence last episode with Chris Clemens. If you haven't watched that episode, definitely check out our interview with Chris Clemens from Team Dynamic Discs. Super awesome guy. It was a really good interview. If you want to improve your game and you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to that episode right now. But that course has, I want to say at least 4 trash cans. And that is one of the dirtiest courses I've seen. And it's not so much in the open area. It's kind of more in the woodsy type of areas where it literally just takes an extra 3 minutes of effort. And instead you'll see somebody just throw their trash down. So what I would hopefully, it's something that I do, and hopefully you have the courage to do so as well, is if you see someone littering, be like, yo guy, why did you do that? Like, there's literally a trash can at hole 4, something like that. Or
yeah,
or if you don't want the confrontation, just pick it up yourself, be a good person and put that away, because that is really annoying. And it's really just sad because disc golf really is one of those sports where it's so good for the environment. Like, it's one of the most environmentally friendly sports. So like, let's not tarnish that by, making it a breeding ground for just throwing random litter away. You know what I'm saying?
don't get a DUI though. I know
Yeah.
sometimes like I've picked up beer cans or whatever, just put in my backpack, and I forget to throw them away. And then I'm just driving around with empty beer cans in the back of my car. And some days that's like an open container, you know. So,
Yeah. Some days it's yours.
uh,
Some days it's the park's. You never really know whose it's gonna be.
so if you pick up those beer cans, throw them away. Don't just drive around with them.
If you find
So
a bottle of half drinking Tito's out there, don't take it home. You can't
don't
drive
take.
around with that.
It might not
Just
be
finish
Tito.
it off before your next hole. I don't know. But yeah, that is super annoying. Just the trash is tough. Let's pick up the trash. I do think maybe that could be something we kind of do, maybe a little community service thing sometime, and go out to the park and maybe pick up some trash and stuff, because it is true. And if you see someone drinking Bud Light, or if you drink Bud Light yourself, no tea, no shade, drink what you like. But Bud Light is the number one beer I always see on the ground at disc golf courses. So we should change that.
I throw like one of my most popular discs in my bag that I throw is Discmania FD3, and for the most part they're all blue. Like they're always blue for some
Oh
reason.
yeah.
But
Uh-huh. I know
I was
this
like,
pain.
oh, there's my disc. Nope,
Nope, it's a beer
Bud
can. It's a
Light
Bud
can.
Light can. Oh, dude, yeah, I know that pain so bad. I can't remember what disc it was, but I've definitely lost my fair share of discs and been going for them. And I'm like, oh, that's not my disc. That's just a piece of trash. Love
Yeah.
that for me. I guess we'll get off the trash talk and we'll move on to my next kind of pet peeve. And it's it's difficult to kind of put into words because, like, yes, if you're at a sanctioned event, you should play by the rules. We understand that. But if you're going to be that guy who's like, hey, man, like, I don't really care, but, someone might in the future, and then you call somebody on a rule violation or something like that, like, I don't know. That just the wording of that just I don't know. It kind of irritates me because it's like clearly you're speaking up enough because it does bother you. So like just take ownership and be like, "Hey man, I'm pretty sure that's a rule violation like blah 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 like, just, let's make sure we get it taken care of." Like don't try to do like it literally goes back to like accountability. Like take accountability, and if that's actually your thought, make it your thought. If you actually don't care and you think somebody's going to care in the future, then you can just zip your lip, in my opinion. Like it does not matter. If you don't actually care, you're not going to say anything. And I do have a funny story about this. I was playing in a tournament here in Manhattan, and there was this guy that I was playing with. Well, these two guys, I guess I was playing with. Both of them were very clearly foot faulting when they were putting. They were both inside 30 and they were like taking a step forward. And in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're just going to foot fault then, like whatever. But like, I don't care enough. I don't want it to sound like I don't care, but like, I don't find it one of those things where I feel like I need to call you on that in order for me to beat you. Like, obviously, yes, it's a rules violation. I probably, could have been like, hey, like, you guys aren't allowed to do that. But like, it wasn't a big enough deal for me to be like, stop doing that. I don't know if I'm explaining this well or not, but the other guy was like, well, I'm not sure if it's a rules violation or not, but, I don't really
Yeah.
care. And it's like, well, guy, if you're speaking up enough, you do care. So just take that ownership that you do care. Like, and I think it's better to take that ownership, and it's better to be like, yo, this is the rule. Like, you guys can't do that because you're making disc golf a better place and a better game, and teaching those folk instead of just being like, well, you know, I don't really care. It's not really me. It is you. It is you. I don't know. That's just my opinion. It's probably not the best opinion in the world. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Have you had that happen to you in either, I don't know, league, casual rounds, or maybe a tournament or anything like that?
Um, I had one, and someone called me out on my putting. How I wasn't jump putting or step putting, but I would putt and then afterwards, like really quickly, which I didn't know I was doing it, but I would like take a step after I had putted. So technically, it was like step putting,
Mm,
but I wasn't doing it intentionally, and
yeah.
I didn't know I was doing it. So they told me about it, and I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. I can
I think
fix
that's
it, whatever.
fine.
But yeah, but I know what you're saying. It's like the people that are wanting to find any excuse to call you out on your game.
Yeah, that's a much better. I'm glad you said that. That's a much better way of putting it. Or like maybe it's the attitude of like, oh, I'm really looking for you to mess up so that way I can
Yeah,
be better than you. And I think I'm gonna tie this in with something else that I was probably gonna bring up later. But like, if you know a certain rule and somebody else clearly does not know that rule and they're about to do something very stupid, you should probably let them know. I am mad because this happened to me in that same tournament. I threw out of bounds off the tee, which I literally would have advanced like 20 feet. And I decided to re-tee because I had heard that you can re-tee and it's just the one stroke penalty for going out of bounds. So I was like, oh, well, why
yeah,
would you not do that? Apparently it was 2 strokes. So this guy waited until after the hole to say anything when I gave him my score. And that made me mad because it's like, well, if you knew this, why didn't you say something? Like, clearly I told you, like, I've done one tournament before. Like, I didn't exactly know what I was doing at the time. So, like, you probably should have mentioned, hey, guy, if you do that, that's going to be an extra stroke coming your way. Not just one, it's going to be 2. So I don't know. If you know something, I guess speak up. If someone's clearly doing something wrong, speak up. But don't come at it from the intention of, I'm purposely trying to get a leg up on you. Come at it from the intention of, I'm trying to make the game better, if that makes sense. I'm trying to make the game more equitable. I'm trying to make the game more that level playing field and we're all on the same page. Not so much I'm trying to take advantage of you, I
yeah,
guess, if that makes sense. That was definitely a lot of rambling, so hopefully that kind of made sense. It's the attitude of, I'm trying to take advantage of you because that's the only way I can beat you. I'm very much more the idea of, I know that I'm good enough that I can beat you. I don't care if you have to cheat or if you have to do something wrong in order for me to beat you. I'm going to beat you. That's the kind of attitude that I would rather have. I don't know.
yeah, and I think that's really important, especially with how many new players we have this year,
Mm-hmm.
and doing tournaments and stuff like that. There was someone that made a really good, um, wavy, so groovy disc golf. He said we need more encouragement and not entitlement. It's a growing
Yeah.
sport. So I think that talks a lot about too what you're kind of trying to say is, we have so many new players, we have so many new people. They're just trying to play. It probably took them a long time to gain that confidence to play a tournament in the first place. Okay, you've been playing since the 70s or 80s or whatever. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. You think you know the rules. You may know the rules. Um,
I mean, hell, the rules
be,
literally updated last week.
yeah.
There were some new rules added, so they're literally constantly changing.
Be constructive though, like be, willing for like to help out a fellow player. Like
Mm-hmm.
we talked out in the past, is you're not playing against that person next to you. Let them play how they're going to play, but the rules are rules, and whether they follow them or not, your game is not going to get any better by that. So that's, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I think that's a good way of putting it. Um, yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good. What do you got, Horatio? What's your next one?
my next one, and this one's kind of more for you listeners to go and educate your relatives, your friends, your coworkers who don't play disc golf. Any chance you get to talk about disc golf with them, kind of educate them. This one is, and it falls into it, but it's photographers or random people at the park or whatever. A lot of disc golf courses are shared environments, just open parks. That's one cool thing about disc golf. It's just parks that everybody can enjoy. Um, and I'm a photographer. That's one thing I do on the side, and I do it for fun. And I may have done it in the past accidentally because I didn't know. But photographers, there's one course here in Wichita where it's super popular for family photos and portraits. And people will see us waiting on T-pad to throw, and they'll just continue taking their photos or whatever. And it's just super annoying. Um, they probably don't know, uh, but they could at least, try to get out of the way or whatever. There's times where I'm like, I'm sorry, like I'm just gonna throw. I'm
Yeah,
pretty confident in my throw, but if
but if I
anything
dome you in
happens,
the head, that's kind of tough.
yeah. But so that kind of goes hand in hand with just photographers, random people. Um, Alberto, who is my brother, he's one of the one that shared one of his pet peeves is kids picking up discs.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing at a course here, and it was the hole over the pond at 18, which is a pretty tough hole. And I was super proud of myself because I got it over the pond, cleared the water, missed the basket, but it landed on dry land. And I was going to throw another one, and there was a family with kids over there, and the kids literally picked up the disc and started playing with it. And the parent, instead of saying anything or telling them to stop, she took her phone out and started taking pictures and videos of the kids like
What?
playing with the disc and stuff.
Oh my
And
God.
we're like 250, 70 feet away across the pond, so we can't really like scream or yell anything. But no, they literally threw my disc into the water,
What?
and I threw like three, so I had no idea like where they threw that one. And so I lost that one because I had
Oh no.
no idea where it went.
What was it?
It was FD3. Uh, which someone texted me about it like a day later. They found it in the pond, and I've been busy and I've been trying to meet them up or whatever. But I was like, just keep the disc, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for texting me or whatever. But that was super annoying. That's not the first time that's happened to me. Is where someone's kids pick up my disc and start playing with it, which is cool. Like they're kids, they don't understand, but the
Yeah.
parents understand and should tell
Yeah.
them that like, hey, that's not yours. There's people playing, even if you don't know what disc golf is.
Yeah.
Obviously, that disc came from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I agree with that because it's like I can never be mad at the child for doing that. I don't think there's ever a reason to be mad at the child for doing that unless they purposely throw it in a body of water. Then like that child's going in the water also. I'm sorry, but like the parent I think should be held responsible because like you. If I saw my child, and maybe it's because I know about disc golf, I get it. But even if I didn't, and I was in a park and I saw some baskets and I saw some folk throwing some discs, I'd be like, yo, don't mess with that.
yeah,
That's not yours. Like, it's probably theirs. They'll figure it out. It's not my problem. Let's get out of here. Not, oh, yeah, Timmy, throw that to Tammy. I don't know. And then chuck it in the water. Like, yeah. So that is very annoying. Sorry, everyone, but I was that kid once. I picked up someone's disc when I was a wee child. I'm
oh,
sorry. I can't. I want to say it was like my like. I don't know if anyone else's class did this. Let me know. But like when my class graduated from elementary school, we literally like went to a park and had a barbecue, like as a whole class. Like literally, our teacher took us out there and did that. Like he also did not give any care in the world, so it was awesome. But uh, yeah, so we did that, and it was at that Centennial Park, and someone threw their disc, and I saw it, and I picked it up, and I said, "Hey, I think
uh,
you lost this," and I threw it back to him. He was like, "No, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Sorry, guy, my bad," and I just kind of walked away. So
yeah,
I was that child, but now I understand how foolish I was. Um,
foolish.
so that's tough, but I do agree. I can't remember if anyone else swiped up and said that on Instagram or if it was just Alberto. But that is definitely something that is kind
Yeah.
of annoying. Really, that's I guess I have one more, and then I don't know how many more you have, and then we can just kind of talk about the other ones that we got on Instagram, maybe. The last one that I have, and someone did kind of sort of mention this. I do want to give them, it's at big underscore ol underscore kin, big old kin. Shout out to you. They said when people say you nice to me in
Mm,
quote, and then the next quote is no, I didn't. You just suck.
yeah.
That kind of goes against the encouragement factor, but also B, I agree. I hate when someone, and I don't say it like literally. You can attest to this when we're out there on the course. Very rarely, and it's not because I like and mean, I think, but like very rarely when a disc is in the air when we're playing a tournament am I gonna say anything. Like I'll wait till it hits the ground and I'll be like, oh yeah, that was a good shot.
Yeah.
Or oh yeah, that was a great putt, man. Like good job, or something like that. Like I won't really be like seeing it in the air. I'll be like, oh dude, that's looking sick, man. And then because that's literally what happens is it'll be in the air and then somebody will blow their mouth and they'll be like, oh dude, that disc is perfect, dude. And then the next thing you know, it's 30 feet out of bounds and it's just a trash throw or something like that. And I specifically hate when I'm very clearly running a putt and I miss it and they hit me with that nice layup. And I'm like, it's not a layup though. Like, I
Yeah.
just suck and I miss the putt. Like, don't say anything. So yeah, that's something that kind of does. That is one of my pet peeves. And it's one of those things also where like I feel as though you don't have to say everything after every time someone throws a disc in a tournament. You know what I mean? Like we've played a couple of tournament rounds where like literally after every single time someone threw, they were like, oh, good throw, good throw, good throw. And like that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Like that's fine. I understand the positivity. I get it, the encouragement. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But like don't say it when I very clearly just messed up. Like just don't say anything. It's okay. Like it's fine. Just don't say anything. I know, I get it. I get it. Just don't say anything. That's definitely a personal thing for me. I love the encouragement. I love people picking each other up and I love
I think
go ahead.
I think you just like want to go out and play disc golf with like no sound, like
Yes, maybe I
nothing
do.
happening.
Maybe I should go out and play disc golf in the next
By
tournament we do.
yourself. Just
I'll take these headphones and because they're noise canceling. I won't play any music. I'll just have them on noise canceling and I just won't be able to hear anyone. And maybe I'll play so
yeah.
much better that way. Um wow. See, this is a learning exercise. Maybe I don't like when people make any
You know,
sound. Oh, that's so annoying of me.
it's like the was like if the tree falls in the woods, can
Yeah,
you
yeah,
hear
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yes. Quentin heard the tree.
Yes,
Fall
I
in the
heard the
woods, and he's
tree.
mad.
That tree, my disc hit the tree on the way down. I can't find my disc now. Golly, it's a tough one out here in these woods.
Oh man.
What do you got? What's your next one? What do you got?
Um.
Do you have any more? Are we ready to get into the Instagram ones?
This one's kind of an Instagram one, but it's people that are super dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Played a tournament a few weeks ago. And it kind of goes into what you were talking about, how people just say something all the time. But this is more of like the player themselves. So the guy, like, no matter like if he was close, like if he would make a putt from far away, or if he would miss it or do something bad, he would just oh like and just start like screaming and like cussing, and it was just like super awkward for everybody else because
Yeah,
it's like, hey man, like I'm sorry, but
but you're not that good.
I don't know. Yeah, and it was like
Sorry.
every time.
Yeah,
And it was like, hey man, we're just out here having a good
having
time,
fun.
just
Yeah,
relaxing.
yeah, I get that.
Uh,
Like, dude, I'm someone who I feel so I can be somewhat vocal and like being mad or something like that, but I don't. I mean, we've played a lot. I don't think I've ever really like flipped my lid or anything like that. Like if I make a big putt, like
no,
I feel like I deserve to be pumped up about making a big putt or a great drive or something like that. But I
yeah,
think it's being able to control yourself when something bad happens and you miss a putt and just like not cussing. Like if you swipe at your mini, cool, whatever. If you throw your mini down, like I don't think I'll ever full on like wind up and throw my mini down, but sometimes I'll swat at my mini and I'll just throw it right back down, which defeats the purpose of like picking it up in the first place. But it's one of those things where I think that's fine every now and then, but if you're doing it literally every single time, then like that's I don't know. It's not. I think it goes back to kind of what Logan Harpool said in our very first ever player interview, where he said, like, look, like literally just because you missed the putt, like swatting at your mini marker and throwing it down and cussing and all that stuff is not going to change the fact that you just missed. Like
yeah,
it changes absolutely nothing. You're just going to put yourself in a worse mood, and now you're probably going to miss your next putt. So that's something that recently I've definitely started to learn from. And if something bad happens to me, I'll just try to smile it off and just like brush it aside, because it's like if you do let it overconsume yourself, then next thing you know, you're clonking the tree that's 15 feet in front of you when it's literally the only tree on that hole and you really had to shank it to hit it.
Yep.
True story. That happened to me. Um, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all I got.
Okay, let's
Um,
let's do a couple of these Instagram ones real quick. I do want to say thank you to all those who did swipe up, write something into us. So I do want to share the rest of them. So some other ones we got. This one comes from Jesse Drew 95. People who start on a hole other than number one when the course is busy. I have been someone who at one of the local courses, if it looks kind of busy at the start, I'll just walk over to hole 10 because it's really not that far of a walk. And I'll try to make sure that, like, if there's no one there, then I'll jump in. But, like, if I can very clearly see a group coming, like, I'll obviously let them play in front of me. And then I'll kind of try to slide in. That's something that I've done. But I won't ever really be like, oh, I'm going to walk over to hole 5 and I'm going to start there. I don't know. Have you ever done that?
yeah, which I don't think that's a super bad thing. I don't know if he meant to write it like that or if he meant to say people who don't start on hole other than one when the course is super busy, because to me that would make more sense if
Yeah.
everyone is trying to start on hole one at the same time, because that happens at one of the courses here locally. Uh, Majority of the people play the first 6 holes and they don't play the back holes, and so
Yeah.
everyone will start play on one. So that would be super annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But if people played, randomly, if they went and started on 12, went and started on 7, went and started on 18, it wouldn't be as bad. So,
Yeah. I think that one has its ups and downs for sure. I can find it annoying though if you've been playing and no one's been in front of you, and then all of a sudden this random person shows up out of nowhere and they get right in front of you and kind of cut you. I definitely
okay.
definitely can
Yeah.
see that. That would make me mad as well. I'd be like, man, now I have to wait behind this guy. Like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. The next one we got comes from the Ginger Giant 85. When disrespectful kids come through the park, intentionally making as much noise as they can. I call that the heckle effect. I've been heckled before out there by these middle schoolers. Let me know if you've been heckled out there by these middle schoolers. DM us on Instagram at Chain Clankers. Comment down below if you're watching on YouTube right now. Let me know. I've been heckled. It's not fun. But when I make it and I'm getting heckled, it is fun. But I do understand that. As we've learned this episode, apparently I hate all noise. So, yeah, boo boo that. Our next one
All right.
comes in from, or yeah, go ahead. Do you have,
Yeah. Windy City Wizard DGC says when someone takes 20 practice strokes before putting,
we all know that
um,
guy.
definitely take your time, but also there's a fine line between overthinking it and just if you're confident in your putt, you're going to make that putt. But yeah, there's those guys who
We all
definitely
know that
take
guy. We all know
forever.
him. We all know him. We're not gonna
Yeah.
say it. Maybe he'll come on the show someday, but we're not gonna say it. But we all know that guy. We all know that
Pico,
guy.
Pico, my Castro, but
Oh man, dude. Yeah, we all know that guy. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, like Horatio said, take your time. That I have no problem with that. But you don't need to spend 5 minutes figuring out a 15-footer. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
That's just me. Our next one comes from C. Mole Sports Fan. He says trees. I love trees personally, but I
I
do
wanted to
understand.
I wanted to put wind in there for one of mine, but I didn't know if that
Yeah,
was like something that could be a pet peeve.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I think he's maybe talking about the act of hitting trees, which I get that. Um, but also I it definitely was someone who was like, oh, if there's trees, I don't like that hole. But now it's kind of like I kind of like it because like it makes me
Yeah.
better because I have to do something. It's not just a hyzer every single time.
Yeah.
You actually kind of have to learn your discs more and stuff like that. So I do like that. Shout out to Waves So Groovy underscore disc golf. They put in like 3 answers, so that
Yeah.
was really cool. They also put let's see here. They put also seeing the course completely trashed. We talk about that, and they talked about the encouragement. So shout out to them for doing that. And I think this might be our last one coming in from underscore daddy David underscore 21.
Yeah.
Losing discs. Is that not the number one pet peeve of any disc golfer?
And I think the worst one of all for losing discs is the ones that you just leave behind. Not the ones that you
Yes.
like lose where you're looking for like 15 minutes for it, But the ones where you're practicing or whatever the reason, and you throw 2 or 3 off the tee, and you completely forget you threw it, and then the next day or 2 days later, you go to grab that disc from your bag and it's not there,
Yep.
and it's just because you forgot it somewhere and you left it. Those are the worst ones. Those are the ones that hurt.
Yeah, I had that happen to me. I lost my suspect that way. And then today when I was playing, I almost lost 2 of my putters because I just set them up on the tee sign and then forgot to grab them. Thankfully, my girlfriend grabbed them because I don't know where the hell I was, but that would have been tough. I would have been proper fuming if that would have happened. So shout out to her
Yeah.
for doing that. But unless you have anything else for issue, I think that's going to wrap up today's episode. The kind of big announcements that I wanted to discuss and kind of save towards the end of the episode. We have been in contact with Chris Dickerson. He's going to be coming on the show very, very soon. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be talking to the 2020 United States Disc Golf Champion. So definitely, I'm excited about that. Super pumped for that show. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. You're going to want to listen to that. Watch that episode. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be really fun. I think the day we're supposed to record, I'm actually maybe, fingers crossed, going to get a new vehicle after I totaled my other one, which I'm going on almost a month now since that happened. So that will be really cool. Hopefully that's able to happen. Something else that's really exciting is that we're going to be putting out more content over on our YouTube channel. We've got a ton of great ideas lined up. So if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, definitely go do it. We got it in the bag lined up, maybe some skins matches, some match play, just us playing disc golf. So if you like what we're doing here, if you want more disc golf content, please follow us on Instagram. We're almost at 500 followers, and we do have a giveaway planned for that, so you're not going to want to miss that. And check us out on YouTube. We're going to be putting up a bunch of great content. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate each and every one of you guys that come back here every single week. You are the reason why we continue to do this, and we really do appreciate you guys being here for that. So that is going to wrap up this episode. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week. For Horatio, I'm Q. Thank you for listening to the Chain Clankers podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chain Clankers and hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening to us from so you never miss another episode.